What's up, YouTube fam? I'm out here with my workout fam. We supposed to do this. We looking at this SP party slash workout party, but yet and still, I'm looking at it right now with my fam. Well, not with the fam. I'm about to actually go in and take a shower. But I just wanted to chime in on a few things. The first part about it, I want to chime in on. Uh, I want to chime in on being homeless and how the struggle for me was to be homeless when it came through, as in finances. Number two, um, I wanted to chime in on uh, how it was actually uh, having a girlfriend while being homeless. And number three, I want to chime in on what I did for myself to actually get myself out of that range. So, to chime in on that, with number one is me being homeless for finances. Like for me, unlike anybody, when I was out there on the street, I went out and did whatever I had to do to make it. So for me, what I did, I used to do odds and ends jobs. I used to go to labor pools. I definitely gave plasma to have money for myself and everything. Now, the struggles about it, and I tell people about this, but the struggles with the finances. For me, I slept out on the street for basically the whole entire week. Um, it was just the most toughest thing that I had to do because for me, you have to think about it. Say, for example, this week, especially you've worked hard with a guy or whatever that you've been doing your side hustle with, or you catch somebody, especially during the summertime doing landscaping. They say, "Hey, I'll pay you on Friday and stuff," and you're out on the street. So say like today, right now, today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. You have $20 to your name. You can't go get a hotel for $20. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to stay somewhere, find somebody to stay, find somewhere to stay. If you have friends out there, which very rarely do you ever have friends, or you're just gonna have to find somewhere to sleep. My thing was, and as you've seen on my certain parking garages, I actually hid in Stratford University when Stratford University was here. Um, Stratford University was here in the Newport News area to do whatever I had to do. The second thing was, with that, and you have to basically, survive. Like you have $20 until Friday. Hey, you can make it, but you have to spend that money wisely. So what are you gonna do? Well, when you're out eating lunch or whatever, you're gonna have to have breakfast. So my thing about it was this. Okay, um, I might not survive, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here, as a person, for breakfast or whatever. You go and you eat breakfast. Like for me at that time, it wasn't a big breakfast, mainly because I knew I had to survive. So I used to go to McDonald's and get them a chicken and a cup of water, um, and whatnot. Which the water is free. I'll go to Wawa. Then you get two minute chicken sandwiches for lunch, two minute chicken sandwiches for dinner. So you basically spent $5 that day. So you do it again, that's $10. You have $10 on Friday, you get paid. Whoop de doo. Now you get paid. Now for me, I would go to the Plasma Center on Fridays and Sundays. So that's how I would do it to make sure I survive. So you really have to learn how to spend your money wisely. And it's really tough to do that, but you have to learn. The second thing, this is the number two thing that I definitely want to chime on. When I was out on the street, I actually had a girlfriend out on the street, and I was going to chime in on two girlfriends that I had. Like one girlfriend that I had at the moment in time, when actually she found out I was homeless. For me at the time, I was actually, in school, so I was getting money from school about every month, every other month. And to really chime in on that, what happened was with this individual, which I remain nameless. You know, I stayed in Portsmouth. So at the moment in time, you had a place and you found out. Now, being for me, she basically knew that I was getting money. So she basically used me at that point in time to pay her bills. She didn't have rent to pay. All she had was light bill, cable bill, gas bill. But she could be definitely handled with the money that I was getting because I was getting about $2,100. So throughout the time I was in school, per month, like every other month, I was getting $2,100. The other months I was getting probably 900. So with that, I had to chime in, I had to do what I had to do with that. But she still let me stay out on the street. I used to come over her house a few times or whatever type situation. Um, um, for me, it was a struggle. So some people would say this, okay, if my man was there and I was doing that or whatever, for me, and he was paying my bills at the house, and I had a job every now and then, had a job here and a job there, he's paying my bills. Um, let's chime in on this. Well, let me let this brother stay here. Well, that's what a good woman would do. Well, if a woman that will use you, they don't really care what you would do or what you have to do. They don't really care about that. What they're going to do is they're going to get the money, say thank you, and figure, sometimes you'll stay over there. Probably in between 6 to 9 times a month. Think that's good, you know, um, whatnot, and think that's okay, and it's not. I had another girlfriend, which I'm not going to say the time, sure many names, who really had issues of drinking, had a really bad issue of a drinking problem. And I remember where her family didn't really trust her to be in the house by herself. And actually, when they left to go on a trip, I actually kicked her out the house. Me personally, I actually didn't have the money to really get a hotel room for a couple of nights, but I wanted to actually save that money, to stack that money to do whatever I had to do to go elsewhere. So since I couldn't do that, I ended up getting a hotel room for 2 nights. Not only did I do that, the other thing that I also did with her at that moment in time was actually this. I actually paid her cell phone bill because I was really scared the previous night because she got off of work. She was kind of scared for the previous, on that time or whatever. And I was trying to figure out where she was so I could actually help her out, go from point A to point B to make sure she got home. And obviously, what happened was, I couldn't get in contact with her, and I actually paid her cell phone bill, so the cell phone was on. So, that was just a struggle. The third thing I did, or whatever, when I was homeless, after I did all of that, was basically I remained focused. The one of the most important thing that you need to do while you're out there is remain focused. After I went through all the crap with having the girlfriends and stuff, whatever, and basically struggling, I went and maintained focus. And the one thing that I did to get out of it to maintain focus was I stayed in the Wilton shelters, stayed there. And I stacked up the money that I was having while I was doing odds and end jobs, working and working at labor pools. And the next thing you know, from that time, within the 5 or 6 months that I was in the Wilton shelters and I saved the money, I actually had enough money to actually get an apartment. And then what happened was I actually had enough money to go ahead to get Section 8. And with that, Section 8, knowing that you're just doing housing and jobs, basically don't have a job, they will end up helping you get an apartment. And that's what happened for me. So the main thing about it is what I would tell people is the third and most important thing is to stay focused and do what you have to do and stay on your grind. And you'll be amazed how God will bless you in the end. Um, Going through it, knowing that you had $20 to your name and what you were going to do, knowing that you got people that's out here that's using you. If you leave that all alone and you stay focused, you can make it. That's all I have to say for the night for that. Please like, like this, subscribe, and please hit that bell at the end. All right, guys, thank you. Peace.